Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. This is Stephen Ray, and I hope everybody's doing quite well on this Wednesday afternoon. Let me go ahead and take you over here. And I'm actually going to cover up my camera here because I want this to be a full screen. And we have Hurricane Zeta that is unfortunately about to make landfall as the seventh named storm. This is the 27th named storm across the across the Atlantic Basin. This is the 27th named storm, and it is the fifth that is going to affect Louisiana. And we're probably about 2 to 3 hours away from landfall. And unfortunately, this system is really racing on off to the north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. So probably around the I would say 5 to 6 p.m. time frame, this sucker is going to be making landfall near Huma and Grand Isle, Louisiana. Now, there is the current location, but I do have an update. As of 3 p.m. from the National Hurricane Center, Zeta is again a little stronger. It's expected to make landfall across southeastern Louisiana in the next hour or so. Data ongoing from Air Force Reserve hurricane hunters has indicated that Zeta has maximum sustained winds now near 110 miles per hour with higher gusts. That is now currently a Category 2, and I cannot rule out the possibility of it reaching a low-end Cat 3 before landfall, and that is a very serious situation for the people down there along the coast. But you may be wondering, well, why is Stephen on with it making landfall down in Louisiana? Well, here is the reason why. The National Weather Service up here in Birmingham has issued a tropical storm warning, which is in effect from 7 p.m. tonight until Thursday at 6 a.m. And a tropical storm warning means conditions are favorable for tropical storm conditions. And let me take you over here and show you. This is the reason why the tropical storm warning is in effect. It is because of winds of 40 to 60, possibly even 70 mile per hour wind gusts tonight. Now, the onset of the highest winds, if you are basically from Utah to Moundville to Forkland, Demopolis, Linden, your winds are going to start as early as 8 p.m., lasting through 2 a.m. Now, if you're in Tuscaloosa, Clanton, Montgomery, Selma, Brent, Fayette, Hamilton, your winds are going to be from 11 p.m. through 3 a.m. And then, of course, if you're up here in central and east Alabama, 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. and in far east Alabama, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So right here in the greater Tuscaloosa area, we could see winds of 40 to 60 miles per hour. And as you can see, especially if you're down here, Foster's, Ralph, Romulus, Coker, Moundville, Hull, Taylorville, the further south you are, the higher the winds are going to be with this system. And it is going to be a very, very rough night. Basically, if you are along I-2059 and points off to the south and to the east, if you were up here in northwest Alabama, Fayette, Hamilton, Jasper, Florence, places like that, you're going to be just fine. It is basically from Tuscaloosa and points off to the south and off to the southeast that are going to be impacted by this heavy, nasty wind coming through tonight. And like I said, winds of 40 to 50 to 60 with saturated soils can knock over down trees and power lines and knock trees onto power lines. So going ahead and have everything, all of your devices charged and be ready for really nasty weather, and just going ahead and be prepared hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, and be prepared for an extended power outage issue just in case these winds do get out of hand here in Tuscaloosa and points off to the south and to the east. Now, another threat that we have to deal with, of course, is the potential rainfall through Thursday evening. Tuscaloosa is 1 to 1.5, but as you can see down here in the yellow shade, closer to Coker, Elrod, Buell, Foster's, Ralph, Romulus, down here towards the Utah area, Moundville, Greensboro, you guys could see anywhere from 1.5 to 2 inches, and then higher amounts down here towards Demopolis, Linden, 2 to 3, and then on down here in South Alabama in the Black Belt, closer to Clark County, closer to Thomasville, Jackson, Alabama, you could see 3 to 4 inches of rain with this system. And for my friends over here in the far southeastern corner of Mississippi, basically from Meridian, Laurel, and Hattiesburg, you guys could see winds and wind gusts of over 39 miles per hour. The duration of the highest winds will be between 3 and 5 hours, and the sharp western wind gradient, it will really be really nasty as Zeta lifts quickly off to the northeast. Now, if you are down here in the city of Hattiesburg, your wind potential starts between 5 and 6 p.m. If you are up here in Laurel or Ellisville, between 6 and 8 p.m. And then Meridian, 8 to 10 p.m. is your time frame for the tropical storm force winds, possibly approaching hurricane force. So this is a very, very nasty situation for all of Alabama and the far southeastern portion of Mississippi. Now, if you are on the Mississippi coast, such as Biloxi, Gulfport, you guys could see incredible winds of well over 80 miles per hour and possibly approaching 100 as this system comes on in. So that is the issue here. Now, I do also need to mention that we are underneath a tornado watch for Louisiana, the coastal Mississippi, and south and southwest Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle until midnight tonight for the possibility of a couple of tornadoes. Hail, no-sized hail, and isolated wind gusts are also very possible with this system. So a tornado watch has been issued basically for the areas of Yuma, New Orleans, Gulfport, Biloxi, Mobile, Pensacola, Bruton, all the way up to Butler, Alabama. Now, this does not, I repeat, does not include Hattiesburg, Laurel, or anybody else in the Pine Belt other than maybe Wiggins, Mississippi, down to Purvis. But if you are, on the coast of Mississippi, Gulfport, Biloxi, those places, you guys are underneath the tornado watch as well. Basically, if you were in Waveland, Mississippi, Slidell, Louisiana, New Orleans, Yuma, Grand Isle, or Buras, you guys are underneath the tornado watch. Mobile, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, everybody like that is also going to be in the tornado watch as well. So once again, let me run this through you real quick. If you are up here in the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden, Anniston area, there is a tropical storm warning from Wednesday tonight, 7 p.m. through 6 a.m. on Thursday. And the winds are going to be extreme tonight, starting in the far southwestern portion of central Alabama as early as 8 p.m. and then lasting throughout the night as these winds continue and as Zeta continues to push on off to the north and to the east. So let me go back over here to the live studio, and I hope you guys could see that. And let me pull up the radar. Just a second. And there, as you can see, there is Hurricane Zeta getting really close to Grand Isle, Louisiana. You can see New Orleans is up here. And let me go ahead and zoom in closer. And as you can see, this thing is really close to the coast from Grand Isle, Louisiana right now. This system is currently 33 miles from landfall right now. So let me go ahead in here and show you what is very concerning to me because you can see all of these bright pink colors right here. These are winds that are blowing towards the radar site, which is in New Orleans. And anytime you see any of these hot pinks, you know that the storm is strengthening rapidly. And as you can see, there is a wind gust of 141 miles per hour out of this storm, 5,000 feet off of the ground. So this is a significant wind damage potential. There is a 142, let's see, 140. I mean, so this thing is rapidly strengthening. And I'll tell you this too, I would not be surprised to see this go a Category 3. Unfortunately, before it makes landfall, it may not have time to, but then again, it might. Let me go back out here and show you. Put this into motion once again for you, and we're getting really close here to the coastline of Louisiana. So this is a significant weather potential for the areas down here just to the southeast or southwest of Grand Isle, Louisiana, and New Orleans as well. Now, earlier, there was a tornado warning that was posted up here in the outer rain bands, but I see that the warning has been allowed to expire from the National Weather Service out of New Orleans. And let me see if I see any signs of rotation right now, and I do not. But once again, there is a tornado watch out for all of this area down here: Waveland, Gulfport, Pascagoula, Slidell, Pearl River, New Orleans, Huma, Louisiana. You guys are all underneath a tornado watch this afternoon and this evening until midnight tonight. And this is really disturbing when you see winds of 142 right off the surface in these heavy rain bands that can easily be transferred down to the surface. So this is a significant threat. There is Grand Isle. And this thing is getting really close to making landfall here. I would say this thing is going to be making landfall and on the coast by at least 4:20, if not 4:30, because of how fast this system is moving. And so it is really wrapping up, and it's supposed to really intensify, or not intensify, but it's supposed to pick up speed. And the reason we have all of these tropical storm warnings so far inland is because of the fast motion of this storm. It could lay down a lot of trees, it could lay down a lot of power lines, and that is not good news for all of us, and especially right here in central and west Alabama. Now, as you can see here, let's go ahead and put this into motion. There's a little bit of light rain over the Tuscaloosa area right now. Heavier rain if you were back here towards Carrollton, Aliceville, Geiger, Emile. And the rain is going to continue to get more intense as we go on through the afternoon, this evening, and the overnight area as well. A lot of rain, as you can see over here in Mississippi. There is a batch of heavy rain about to hit Hernando, Mississippi right now. It is coming up from the south. And so if you're over here in Coldwater, Hernando, or South Haven, Mississippi, you're about to get a heavy little batch of storms. And while I've got you here, let me just check and see if there are any signs of rotation within this batch of rain that is over here in West Alabama. And no, I did well. That right there, just off to the west of Millport, that's a little bit troublesome. That is very broad rotation, but that is once again rotation. And then another one is down here in between Carrollton and Brooksville, just off to the northwest of Aliceville. So we'll have to watch all of these carefully throughout the rest of the afternoon, the evening, and tonight as this system comes on through. So we're going to have three threats from this storm. We're going to have the extreme winds here in West Alabama. We're going to have the rain, and then we're going to have to watch for any of these little pop-up tornadoes that could potentially come from these landfalling hurricanes. So hopefully the hurricane, this will be the last one of the season. We hope. We keep our fingers crossed that this is the last one that we have to deal with. But once again, if you're going to be in this northeastern eye wall here, Grand Isle, places like that, Golden Meadow, Port Sulphur, that these guys are going to see extreme winds from this core as it continues to move on off to the north and to the east. So let me put this into motion for you. And as you can see, this is continuing to rapidly intensify and rapidly expand in size as it continues to get closer on off to the coast up here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, so there is how close she is to the, or basically it is to the coast right now. The northern eye wall, northeastern eye wall is now pushing on shore. As you can see, there are a couple of islands right here down in the marshes of Louisiana. So this thing is in progress of making a landfall over here between Huma and Buras, Louisiana. Now, officially, this thing will not make landfall until the actual center of circulation moves over land. So the northern eye wall right now is over Grand Isle to Golden Meadows over here towards Dulac and Galliano. So this is a significant threat as this system is making a landfall as we speak. I would expect in any second now, the Weather Service, or the National Hurricane Center, I should say, will put out a statement saying that this system has actually made landfall. So this is getting really close to the coast. So if you're watching me in Grand Isle, Louisiana, or if you're watching me in New Orleans, things are really about to go downhill as this thing is really approaching the coast. Grand Isle, let's see. You guys are experiencing winds off the surface of 81 miles per hour. Then you come down here probably about 5 or 6 miles off the coast, and there's a 97 mile per hour wind gust. And then you get down here into these pink shades, and you have 134, 136. So this thing is definitely strengthening as it makes landfall, but it will not, I don't think it will have enough time to make a Category 3 before it makes landfall because of the close proximity to land. So once again, that is the latest on Hurricane Zeta. I will continue to watch things and continue to provide updates for you on this threatening weather situation. If any warnings pop up, any tornado warnings like for Slidell, Gulfport, Pascagoula, Picayune, Mississippi, New Orleans, any of these places down here, if a tornado warning pops up for a populated area, I will be right back here on social media. Otherwise, I will continue to do frequent updates on the top and bottom of every hour starting at 5 o'clock this evening until we get this thing completely out of West Alabama. So if you are living up here in Tuscaloosa, Columbus, Jasper, Birmingham, Sylacauga, now is the time to go on ahead and secure everything that you need to outside because conditions are going to start deteriorating tonight about 8 o'clock and through the pre-dawn hours as this system rides up 2059 and basically goes from Hattiesburg to Meridian to Tuscaloosa to Birmingham, and then on up here towards Gadsden, and then off to Chattanooga and then to Georgia. So this is going to be a long night, nasty night, pretty rough night, but just keep it tuned right here. I will get you through this, and hopefully we can come out with this unscathed. So once again, this is Stephen Ray, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. We will get through this weather situation, but once again, I just wanted to jump on here and let you know that we have a rough night ahead, but I will be here watching things for you, and we'll give you guys frequent weather updates. God bless.